So, thank you. Thank you, I love you more. Listen, they're putting out a hologram about Whitney Houston. They're gonna take it on tour. I just have to get right to it. I think this is the worst idea ever. All due respect to the dearly departed Whitney, she's been gone for many years now. She does not have an heir. Her only daughter has passed on as well. You know, I don't want to accuse Pat Houston, her sister-in-law, or her brother Gary of a money grab or being highly distasteful, but would you go see Whitney in a hologram on tour? Clap if you would. Okay, a few people, not many though. If you're looking for money, that's not many. If what you want to do is keep her memory alive, we got the radio. And we've got Spotify, and we've got our collections, and we've got our memories. They're currently planning this, everybody. I mean, Pat Houston, she's the one at the helm of it. They want Gary to go out there and sing live while the hologram of Whitney is there. Yes, as a background singer. This is terrible, not a concert. I mean, Tupac did it, didn't work so well. Who else did it? Michael Jackson did it, didn't work so well. Today's Biggie's birthday. Please, Mrs. Wallace, please, Faith, do not get Biggie on the hologram. Happy birthday, Big. Now, they also plan on having the Whitney story on Broadway. Now, see, I think that's a fabulous idea. Yeah. As long as it's not in a hologram, you know what I mean? Like, I want to see Deborah Cox, the only Whitney Houston. I want to see Deborah Cox. She's the only one that could get close to Whitney. We've seen her do it before. People love her, and she's got a great voice, and we like her here at our show. But I think that Deborah on Broadway, she's done Broadway before as Whitney, and then you do the whole Whitney Houston thing and make sure that you include a lot of good stuff. And also, on this tour that Gary's gonna be on with his hologram sister, they want to introduce us to new Whitney music. All due respect, rest in peace. I don't care about hearing new music. I wanna hear the music that we can sing along to, you know? I just think it's a bad idea all the way around. Shout out to the Houston family, that's all. You know? And Aretha Franklin. Aretha, you will not stop messing with people, will you? Okay, so our friend Aretha, rest in peace, had 3 wills hidden around her house. Have you heard about this? Well, as I was leaving the house this morning, all I heard was she left a will. That's what I heard on the news, and then I had to go. So by the time I got here, the Bureau let me know it wasn't just a will, Wendy, 3 wills. Oh. 2 of them in a locked safe from 2010, handwritten. I want to leave the house to Ted. She has a son named Ted. And then, look, the pen's not working. Here's where she scribbles around. You know what I mean? They say that this is really her handwriting. Would you look at Miss Franklin? Okay, 2 of them were locked in a safe in her home, and 1 of them was in a spiral notebook under a cushion in her couch. Well, who knew? Aretha Franklin, just like us. I mean, it might be a mere grocery list that you have in your couch cushion, but the point being, she's scribbling and writing in a spiral notebook and stuffing it under her couch. This is the same woman who wore her purse on stage, though, because she didn't care how rich the people around her were and how well appointed they were. Everybody she thought had a stealing bone. Well, she did have a point with that. Kind of, sort of. This is the same woman who would ask for cash up front. She wasn't trusting you promoters. Just because you have a line around the corner doesn't mean that you're gonna give her a fair share for performing in a check that won't bounce, or you say you're gonna wire the money. No, she wants cash. And she stuffs it in that bag and she'd come on stage and do chang, chang, chang. Right? You know, to me, she's looking and laughing at all of us. In my mind, my joke during Hot Topics morning meeting was that the spiral notebook at the couch where she was writing her will, she was probably watching Wendy at the same time. Because she was our girl. She was our girl. I mean, she was our girl for the show. Remember, the way I met her is because she called the bureau to curse me out about something I said about her. And I was like, that wasn't really Whitney Houston. Aretha Franklin. They said, yes, it was Wendy. And she talked about this, that, and the third. And she got me on the telephone. She was like, I watch every day. This was during our 6-week sneak peek. We weren't even a show. We were a but it was on in the D, and she was watching on her couch. So Teddy gets the house, according to this handwritten will. Who?
Yeah.
Yes. Her children are ages 49 to 62. Now, you would think that a 49 to a 62, you have 4 sons, somebody would have said, Mom, you need a proper will. Now, can we talk macabre for a second? I don't know who you are, if you have kids or not, if you have a living will, but to me, the second you have children, you need your life insurance. You know, sometimes if you don't have kids, then, you know, why get life insurance? That's what a lot of people feel. And sometimes people feel that if they're just by themselves, then why have a will? Well, you should have it, even if you give it to your favorite mailman, just because your stuff, no matter what it is, just because otherwise the state takes it. And I don't care where you live, there's always something funky about the state you don't like when it comes to death, you know? And it's not macabre. Like, I don't talk to my parents about wills and stuff like that. I just want to know, do you have one? And that was years ago. They said yes. I was like, okay, fine, good. You know, I kind of don't want to know anymore. My son and I, of recent late, of course, my son, no, yes, we talk that talk. I've introduced him to the actual people. This is who you're the boss over, and this is what, you're 18 now, boy. If I walk outside and something happens to me, you just know everything's laid out for you. I just feel like you children, the Aretha Franklin children, you've done your mother's legacy a disservice. And there's 2 of the brothers who don't like the idea of this handwritten will. Well, they're saying so far that it is written by Aretha, and they are gonna give it to a handwriting analysis. But in my opinion, something like this should be absolutely legal, and here's why. It's not like she wrote 1 or 2 sentences that, you know, a plagiarizer or a forger could, you know, imitate 1 or 2 sentences. You know, some of us have done that before, you know, bad progress reports at school. Thomas D. Williams. I told them after I graduated. And once I had a successful career, then I tell my parents all my tricks. But anyway, I feel this is enough writing to say whether this is her writing or not. Then they're gonna get it under a handwriting analysis. Then it's gonna prove to be hers. Well, there are 2 brothers who are all down for this. They must be the 2 brothers who are the responsible ones who probably know they were gonna get everything anyway. And then there are 2 brothers who hate the idea of these 3 wills even be a part of anything. Those are probably the 2 brothers who were less than responsible, the ones who would benefit from the no will thing in Michigan. The no will thing goes like this. Everything gets divided equally amongst the siblings. See, so the ones who weren't necessarily as up on it will get as much as the ones that took care of Teddy, who we could read his name. He gets the house. Now, I don't know where they're going from here, but I gotta tell you something. There is a hearing scheduled on June 12th, and believe me I will be on top of it. You talk to your family about wills, it doesn't have to be all macabre and stuff. You know, it could just be like, you know, like, Mom, I really like, you know, that dress. And then she says, Wendy, it's yours. You know, or something. It doesn't have to be all deathly. And you want to talk to people about their wills and find out and stuff why they still have all their marbles. Kim Kardashian is mad at the fast food restaurant, Jack in the Box. Do you know that? Remember Rodney Allen Rippey used to be the spokesperson? And then they kind of disappeared. They were here on the East Coast for a minute. Now they're, I guess, only on the West Coast. Anyway, they have tacos and burgers and stuff. So yesterday, Kim posted, hey, Jack in the Box. I have a serious complaint, but I won't fully put you on blast. Check your corporate email inbox and send me a DM with direct person for my team to contact pronto. First thing I says, who does she think she is? All right. Like, I mean, yes, you're with the prison reform and you're leading a movement that a lot of people might not have opened their eyes to. Yes, you're in Van Jones's law school to get your law degree, and you seem to be doing really, really good for the people with your position. But who are you with this right here? Get at me pronto. First of all, I thought I was the only one to flip, but everybody in my Hot Topics morning meeting agreed with me. I wouldn't care if they didn't, but they agreed. They're like, who does she think she is? And then I said to them, and when her people respond to her millions of followers, they said most of them were like, who does she think she is? Like, you either share the whole thing, what you're complaining about, don't just string people along, because what this sounds like, Kim, is you're using your celebrity and your newfound, business head for a lot of pomposity and bullying. Like who are you? And there's not a bone in me that believes that she's complaining because they left cheese off of a burger. It's not like that. She's probably complaining because maybe they saw a worker being mistreated, or they saw a worker do something wrong, or something wasn't right in the restaurant, so she was pissed. So she wanted to do good for the people. That's what I believe in my mind. But the way she went about it just makes her sound like an ass. Like, who are you? Like, maybe there's no handicap ramp or something like that. But you know what you should have done, Kim? You're Kim. You should have picked up the phone and called corporate and talked about it behind the scenes. Like, everything that you do for the good of the people doesn't have to be known. And please don't become that bully online, because right now you're bullying. Jack in the Box. Anyway. So the corporate people at Jack in the Box found out about this through her, and so they wanted to DM her apparently, but they tried to reach out and it was unsuccessful. So I guess through Hot Topics, Kim, they're trying to reach you. Maybe you want to call them, like a lot of, just use the phone and call them. Hey, can we change these stories around? I know we have 90210 to talk about, but I prefer to talk about that boy at Empire, because you're not gonna believe what's going on. The Shy. Well, excuse me, he's the cookie of The Shy. You know, the star of the show. One of Hollywood's hottest rising stars, this guy right here. What's his name again?
Jason Mitchell.
Jason Mitchell. Jason has been fired by his, no, listen. By his agent, his manager, and his TV show, The Shy. Along with an upcoming Netflix movie. Now you ask me what a 32-year-old man could possibly do when the new season of The Shy was just renewed for the 3rd season. Do you know that he's on a hit show? If you don't watch, but you watch Empire, okay, he's Cookie Lyons. Like, virtually, there were chairs flying across our morning meeting, people saying the show cannot survive without Jason Mitchell. And I was like, well, what is going to happen? And I love Shy also. So I'm like, what did he do? He played Eazy-E in Straight Outta Compton. Oh, now you know. He played Mary J. Blige's son in Mudbound? Okay. Do you understand he was a rising star? And everybody fired him at one time? Jason was hit, apparently everybody, with multiple allegations of misconduct. What are you thinking? I'm not saying it. But guess what? This is kind of the nail in the coffin, not for nothing. If you are in the 3rd season, you just got renewed for a 3rd season, and you're an actress who's never been seen or heard of before, her name is Tiffany Boone, and you quit your job because you filed at your job for sexual harassment against this guy and nobody at the job did anything, so you ended up quitting. Tiffany Boone has quit The Shy. She plays his girlfriend, fiance on the show. No, his wife on the show. She has a fiance in real life. It was so strained at home with the fiance and Tiffany that she asked the fiance to come to the set every time they had to shoot scenes together, her and him. Isn't that where a man just breaks full though? Like you don't just show, like if you know that your woman's about to do a love scene with somebody who she's complained about sexual harassment, he must be very civilized to just stand by and just watch, as opposed to, you know, jumping on him. I don't know that any of this is true, Jason, but this does not look good. Producers of his upcoming Netflix movie, I was just telling you, they recently got specific information about an incident that led to him being fired. The information, they said, is what led everyone else to fire him. So the Netflix info's got it, and then the agent fired him, the manager fired him, and the Shy fired him. And Tiffany quit her job. Now this is a woman who, she only had one thing that we saw that you might know. She was on that show called The Following. It was up and canceled quick, you know what I'm saying? Now she finally gets this show right here, The Shy. And she's got a big role because she plays the fiance of the star. And she quit. She walked away from the money on the table, a guaranteed third season. Well, we don't know that he's guilty of anything. I'm just gonna say that, because I have to. But it doesn't look good. You know what? They should offer her her job back. Well, Tiffany, I gotta tell you, my co-hosts think that they should offer it back, and I assume you think that you should go back. That she should go back. Well, see, if I was Tiffany, I'd take the offer and then I would make a press conference saying I will not be coming back. Would you like to know why? While I understand we're in our third season, we just got renewed, everybody's talking about us, people love The Shy, and I love my role here. Just because you maybe would fire Jason if the allegations prove to be, well, you've already fired Jason, and so the coast is clear. No, it's not. Because we got the same HR people that I complained to, and we got the same other staffers and uppers that I complained to, and you never looked out for me. So I don't want to work for you. I'm going to unemployment, and I'll just wait till the next role. Tiffany, you don't want that job back. Not if those same people are there. You complain, you know, it's not just about the star of the show. You understand what I'm saying? Yes. I was in the house. I was in the house last night minding my own business, as I always do. And then my phone rang. Phone, not a text, because it was 9:30 on a school night. And I knew I had to get up in the morning at 9:30, you know? I'm like, you know, what? We're all at Lucky Strike. We're bowling and having a good time. Khaled's here, Kevin Hart's here, come on, let's go. I was like, nope. I gotta stay in. But Kevin Hart is in town, and Kevin Hart, by the way, hi Kevin. This is another Kevin Hart story. No, look. So he was at a friend of his wedding. Did you see this footage? And lucky for us, we caught the tape. He was getting down and boogieing down. It looks like he's still got on his wedding pants, but then he put on a hoodie. And the great thing, it must be great to be short when you fall, because you only got a little distance to go. Look, he fell like a 5-year-old. He's so, there he is. The next day he explained what happened. Take a look.
My heels on both shoes, look at this, came off. That's why I went down, okay? I am the product of defective shoes.
Any excuse is better than none. His wife was off to the side saying, the heel came off after you fell. Anyway, Kevin is already in the Wendy Fall of Shame, but we're gonna put him in there again. There you go, Kevin. That's twice for you, buddy. Oh my gosh, I didn't have time to tell you about 90210. It's okay, we've got more great show for you. Do you smell the food? It's Filipino. But up next, everybody, we're bringing down the biggest celebrity lawsuit. We're gonna break down, the biggest celebrity lawsuits. We got an attorney here, she's brand new. We're gonna talk about Nipsey Hussle's daughter, you heard about that. And we're gonna do it with a lawyer lady. So grab a snack and come on back.